Straight ahead this morning on Daybreak, a Tallahassee man convicted of a 2012 murder learns his fate.
Plus, we'll tell you why the phrase "in God we trust" is causing controversy in one Georgia community.
And Pope Francis is officially on U.S. soil. Later in today's show, find out what the pontiff's plans are for today.
And it's that time of year again. The fall season is coming up. Rob is here to tell us just what we can expect on this first day of fall.
Live from the WCTV studios, this is Eyewitness News Daybreak. Coverage you can count on.
Everybody, thanks a lot for joining us here. It is a Wednesday morning, and we mentioned the first day of fall. When does this officially hit?
Did.
It's already
like
done.
Before something this morning?
About 40 minutes ago.
40 minutes ago? Okay, well, we should walk outside and enjoy it.
Go let me know if it's a little different.
I think it's probably the same.
Yeah, we still have more than muggy to contend with.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. Well, topping our headlines this morning, a Tallahassee man convicted of stealing a truck and running over its owner learns his fate.
Right, Jason Reeser was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years yesterday. Reeser was found guilty last month for killing Christopher Breeze back in 2012. Breeze's family members spoke about their son during the sentencing. Breeze was trying to stop a fight when Reeser stole his truck and ran over him twice. Reeser's mother told the judge that her son was a good man who always looked out for her. Breeze's father says a life sentence would be the only way his son could have justice.
He was always concerned about me, even after they found him guilty. He called me that night and he said, "Mama, you all right?" And he says, "I'm worried about you." He's more concerned about me than he was of himself.
Even in death, my son can continue to be the good Samaritan he was in life.
Okay. Tell us your name, please.
Reeser's defense wanted a new trial because they alleged juror misconduct, and Judge Terry Lewis, though, denied that request.
3 men face dozens of charges in a 2014 fatal shooting. A grand jury yesterday indicted Trevor Posley, Dexter Freeney, and Stephen Monroe for allegedly shooting Clay Cross outside the 912 Club in Clinch County. Court papers say that the suspects have gang ties and were shooting at each other, adding that Cross got caught in the gunfire. Well, malice, murder, and aggravated assault are among the 48 charges. A Central Florida deputy shoots and kills a man after thinking the stapler he was holding was a gun.
On Monday, Polk County Sheriff's deputies were called out for suspected drug activity, and when they arrived, they say 34-year-old Dominic Fuller ran from them. He was later found in a nearby home. After asking him to surrender, Fuller eventually came out and pointed a black and chrome metal object at the deputy. Police say the deputy did not know it was a stapler, feared for his life, and fired 5 times.
When it comes to the Dozier School for Boys, Florida's cabinet is asking what next in the investigation. For the past 3 years, University of South Florida researchers have been digging at the Jackson County School, and their findings have been horrific. Well, they have found that the graves of dozens of boys, many of whom are believed to have been abused. Researchers will submit a final report on Dozier in December. In God we trust. That phrase is printed on money. It's even our nation's official motto.
One group now wants the phrase taken off the squad cars of a Georgia sheriff's office. The Freedom From Religion Foundation sent a cease and desist letter to the Burke County Sheriff's Office. The foundation is asking the sheriff, Greg Coursey, to take the motto off the back of patrol cars. However, he is not budging.
And I thought it was time that we just let people know, what we believe and who we trust. And we have to put our trust in God to do our work.
The decal does not cost taxpayers a dime. It is paid for by a combination of funds from deputy donations, community donations, and money from the sheriff's own pocket. Well, a lot of you at home have chimed in on this story, especially on our Facebook page. One viewer under the name Darlene Dempsey writes, quote, "I encourage all states and counties to do the same. In God we trust. In this day and age, He is the only one we can surely trust." Another viewer under the name Christy Williams says in part, "It should not be on any government vehicles. Separation of church and state, right?" As we always say, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. You can continue to comment on this story by visiting our Facebook page at WCTV. We're getting a deeper look into what funding will be awarded to a local police department.
And find out how 2 agencies are helping older Floridians score job opportunities later today. Eyewitness News reporter Charlene Cristobal joins us live in studio with those details this morning. Charlene?
Well, hey, Shonda, and good morning, everyone. We first told you yesterday about Tallahassee police receiving nearly $2 million to hire 15 new officers. We're now learning more about what that federal grant will buy. Those new officers will work on TPD's community-oriented policing squad and violent crimes response team. The 15 officers are in addition to the 18 proposed in the city budget. City commissioners will discuss the federal grant at next month's meeting. Staying in Florida, the Department of State is launching a new online feature to help voters prepare for the upcoming election next year. It's called Ready, Get Set, Vote. It will tell you where you can register and how you can vote here in the Sunshine State. Well, fun fact, this week is Employ Older Workers Week. To celebrate, the Florida Department of Elder Affairs and Career Source Capital Regional are holding a job fair. The event starts this morning at 10 at the Christian Heritage Church here in Tallahassee. The purpose of the job fair is to help older Floridians seek job employment. The job fair will end this afternoon at 2. And let's look at some of those top stories. Art, Shonda, back to you.
All right, thanks, Charlene. And we're continuing our 60th anniversary tour here at WCTV.
Be sure to tune in for your evening shows today. Mike McCall and Eden Schultz will be live in Bainbridge, Georgia. You're invited to come out to the Earl May Boat Basin and the Cheney Griffin Park to join them. They'll be in the city from 5 until 6:30 p.m. tonight.
That's right, and as all you may know, today marks the start of the fall season. But don't start grabbing those boots and scarves just yet. Rob is here now to tell us what exactly those fall temperatures will be like for our first official day around these parts. Yeah, not quite looking like those scenes just yet.
No, this is one of those times of year up north where you get all that nice color and stuff.
That's looking nice.
We're a couple of weeks away from that around here. It's coming soon. I do like where the afternoon temperatures are going, believe it or not. We're still talking tropical weather, of course, and we usually do until the end of November. That's a look at Ida. Not super impressive looking, but still out there, still kicking, and likely still going to strengthen. Not nearly going to be any kind of impact on our forecast. Sort of got that combination of multiple seasons going on out there, and all the while it feels like summer around here still this morning. We'll break it down. Full forecast next. Forecast over the next couple of days. Here's the first part of that extended forecast. We will adjust our hashtags. It's still summer, at least it feels that way. But we're saying, come on, fall. The combination skies, they're sticking around. At least the daytime highs are going to be more manageable. There's something about 85 that's okay.
Yeah, we can handle 85.
I just wish we had 55 in the morning to go with it.
That'd be nice indeed. All right, well, 5:15 this morning. Still to come, a controversial women's health bill heads to the Senate for a vote. We'll have the details after the break.
An online scam is affecting poker players all over. We'll tell you what you need to know to protect yourself. In your national headlines this morning, U.S. senators vote to block an anti-abortion bill. That bill would have defunded Planned Parenthood for a year. Last week, the House approved the measure, but yesterday it fell 6 votes short of passing. The bill would have also banned late-term abortions. Pope Francis is expected to discuss this issue when he addresses Congress tomorrow. Speaking of Pope Francis, he's now on American soil in Washington, D.C. The Pope arrived at Joint Base Andrews yesterday and received a personal welcome from President Obama. While he had no events planned for yesterday, today he is expected to have a private meeting in the Oval Office with the President.
I would not expect a robust discussion of a political agenda, but rather I think it's an opportunity for the two men to talk about the values that they have in common, and there are many.
Following the meeting, Francis will celebrate Mass outside the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, and he will make history as he becomes the first pope to address a joint session of Congress tomorrow. In other national news today, the Los Angeles City Council has declared a state of emergency on homelessness. The council yesterday announced plans calling for $100 million to help address the growing crisis. In the past 2 years, homelessness in the city has increased 12%. Los Angeles has one of the largest unsheltered populations in the country and more than an estimated 25,000 homeless residents. Shauna, back to you.
Well, if you enjoy online poker, we have a warning for you this morning. A new computer virus is making the rounds and it's giving cheaters an unfair advantage. Security experts say hundreds of players have been duped actually into the scam on websites like PokerStars and Full Tilt Poker. After the virus is installed onto your computer, it downloads poker-related programs. It then takes screenshots of the infected player's cards and sends it to hackers. The hackers then join online tables where their victims are playing and end up stealing their money. Security experts advise you to keep your antivirus software up to date and remove any suspicious files. Amazon Prime is headed to the sales bin. One-year memberships will soon cost $67. That's a little more than $5.50 a month. Memberships typically cost $99 a year or more than $8 a month. Well, one catch though, the special deal is only available this Friday for new members. The plan honors Amazon's hit show Transparent, which took home 5 Emmys on Sunday. And here's Kenny Morales now with a look at what's ahead in your local sports.
We talk with FAMU quarterback Carson Royal as the Rattlers get ready to prepare against Tennessee State. Plus, we've got some local volleyball action for you. Childs against Lincoln, as well as McClay hosting John Paul II. Good morning, sports fans. I'm Kenny Morales. We'll go ahead and start things off real quick with the FAMU Rattlers, who once again are back in action this weekend. However, for the first time this season, FAMU will get to play in the comfort of its own backyard as it plays Tennessee State in its home opener on Saturday. Starting quarterback Carson Royal has struggled mightily running new head coach Alex Wood's no-huddle offense. Through 3 games, Royal has a completion percentage of 44% while throwing for 320 yards and 3 INTs. Not exactly the way you want to start your first season as the starting QB. But Royal remains positive and says these past few games have made him mentally stronger.
Yes, definitely. I mean, those the adversity with 3 losses and the 3 away games, it's just really hard to go through. Personally, especially since I'm supposed to be the one leading this offense to score touchdowns. That obviously hasn't been happening, but we've been working and learning, and we're still going to improve and make it better this week.
A pair of district volleyball games in town last night. First up, Childs visiting Lincoln. And check out the student sections. That guy loves his nachos, and so do I. And this kid clearly loves them. Both schools. Later in the first set, Lauren Rizza sneaks one over the Trojans for the point. T-Wolves take the first set 25-21. Second set, here comes Lincoln. Lauren Scott with the quick ace to give the Trojans an early 2-0 lead in the second set. Few rallies later, Madison Fitzpatrick delivers an ace of her own. Lincoln with a nice comeback. They win the final 2 sets to win the match 2-1. Over at McClay, the Marauders in a Class 3A District 1 showdown against JP2 early in the first set. Jules Strawberry, nice cross-court kill here. Marauders take a 10-4 lead. Panthers hanging tough though. This is Katie Beth Coffey who taps this one right over for JP2. These two would split the first 2 sets, but McClay would come away with the win as Melanie Canfield crushes one on the Panthers. Marauders win this one 2-1. There is your fishing game report. Peak times 10 a.m. and 11 p.m. That is it for your morning sports. Have a great day.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that, Kenny. Now I'll look at your medical news. Why sitting still might be bad for your health.
And the best way to treat hot flashes. Kenneth Craig has today's top health stories.
The North American Menopause Society says its latest studies show the best way to tame hot flashes without hormones is cognitive behavioral therapy, or therapy that changes the way women perceive their hot flashes. The study also found some non-hormonal prescription medications, including Paxil, offer mild to moderate relief. What didn't work for hot flashes? Exercise, yoga, and acupuncture. People in addiction treatment programs use tobacco at 2 to 3 times the rate of people not being treated for addiction. That's according to a study that tracked over 37,000 people living in 20 countries on 6 continents. California researchers say data shows that recovering addicts can improve their outcomes by addressing smoking. And new research suggests people who fidget when they're sitting may counteract the adverse health impacts of sitting for long periods. UK researchers found no increased risk of mortality among people who considered themselves moderately or very fidgety.
So are you moderately or very fidgety?
You know I'm a fidgeter. Like my legs are constantly moving under this desk.
I'm a little fidgety myself, as a matter of fact. All right, well, people will take the streets of the Tallahassee area today for a march to end the silence on domestic violence.
That's right. The march will start at 5 p.m. from 3 locations: the FSU Integration Statue, FAMU, and the State Capitol building. The groups will converge at the Turnbull Conference Center after the march.
And domestic violence.
That's right. After the march, speakers will discuss life after domestic violence. Survivors say victims need to speak up and find a voice.
You can't let your abuser take away from you. They can take away a lot and have a lot of control and power in your life, but you still have a voice. You still are a person, and there's still hope.
And I will be there tonight as MC for that event. So should be a good time out there and a good crowd.
Good. You're going to do the walk too from one of those locations?
I've got another appointment before that, so I'll be right there at 6 o'clock for the program to start. All right, well, 5:27 now. Still to come, local law enforcement officials are gathering for a prayer service this morning following the shootings of officers around the country. Find out how you can take part in that event.
The Tallahassee International Airport getting a major upgrade starting later today. We'll tell you what improvements you can expect. First, going over to Rob, where he is celebrating the beginning of fall.
That's true. First day of fall. We're about an hour in, and it certainly still feels like summer out there. Got lots of unsettled and combination skies to look forward to. I don't think we're talking major rain chances, not these next couple of days, a few sprinkles maybe, but there is some energy lurking off the Atlantic coast that we'll keep our eyes on. I think it will be a player in our forecast for the next couple of days. We'll break it all down, full forecast style, in just a bit.
Straight ahead this morning on Daybreak, a man accused in a fatal drunk driving incident that killed his wife has his day in court. We'll tell you what a judge decided.
Plus, we're getting a new look inside a South Florida school bus and just before it crashed into a pond last week.
And one man cycling thousands of miles for veterans makes a stop in the local area. Hear what he has to say about his journey.
And today marks the beginning of fall. What does that mean for our area? Will we see some fall-like temperatures today? Rob will tell us in a second.
Live from the WCTV studios, this is Eyewitness News Daybreak. Coverage you can count on.
Good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us on this Wednesday morning, and fall has arrived.
Yeah,
it has.
Sure.
There's a chill in the air already.
Not quite. Use your imagination to get that chill these days.
Sadly, yes. Use your imagination. We still have the warm. We still have the muggy. We're still going to have those combination skies. There's a look at the radar picture. And not much happening.
I think Rob, 5:32 right now. First this hour, a man accused in a drunk driving accident that killed his wife is sentenced to 7.5 years in prison.
Mackenzie Natil will also have his driver's license revoked for the rest of his life. Natil's wife, Michaela, died in October of 2013 when the couple's car hit a tree on Connor Boulevard in Tallahassee. During yesterday's sentencing, family members of his wife pleaded with Judge Terry Lewis for justice. Natil's defense argued he was a loving father and that it would be wrong for his child to go without both mother and father. Natil is also required to serve 500 hours of community service.
We now know the name of the person who shot and killed an Okaloosa County Sheriff's deputy.
That's right. Authorities say 33-year-old Joel Smith shot and killed Deputy Bill Myers yesterday outside of a law firm. Well, Smith was meeting Myers to give over his guns after a domestic violence injunction. After the shooting, Smith allegedly went to a hotel and barricaded himself. Smith died during a standoff with deputies. Florida Governor Rick Scott released a statement yesterday saying any act of violence against these brave heroes is shameful and cowardly.
Later this morning, you're invited out to send up your prayers for local officers. This morning's prayer service comes following the fatal shootings of law enforcement officers around the country. This local prayer service is also part of the national See You at the Station effort. This morning's service will be held on behalf of the Wakulla County Sheriff's Office. It starts at 7:15 this morning at the agency's flagpole.
George Zimmerman took the stand in a preliminary hearing for the man accused of shooting him. Matthew Apperson was charged with attempted second-degree murder after the May incident in Lake Mary, Florida. Zimmerman was not injured in the shooting, and on the stand yesterday, Zimmerman actually discussed the moments leading up to the shooting.
As soon as I looked over, I saw the barrel of the gun. I saw Mr. Apperson, and I heard the shot. And I mean, it was within seconds at the most.
After hours of testimony, the judge decided there is enough evidence to move forward with the trial.
Well, this is new video from inside a South Florida school bus that shows the moments before the bus drove into a pond. Tampa Sheriff's Office now believes the driver, Linois Saint-Fimin, was actually likely pressing on the gas and the brakes at the same time. There were 27 students aboard the bus. Luckily, none of them were injured. Saint-Fimin was only on the job for a couple of days when the incident happened last Thursday.
Well, later today, you're invited out to a public hearing focusing on FAMU.
Well, the hearing is hosted by Leon County Commissioner Bill Proctor. The event is part of a free speech series where your comments and concerns about the university are allowed. There will also be surveys conducted. It's all happening at the Dr. V.L. Perry Jr. Library from 6 until 8:30 tonight.
First, it was international designation. Now, Tallahassee International Airport is upgrading its terminal. Crews will start today, and more than 200 jobs are expected to be created. Work includes reconfiguring the TSA checkpoint, a new baggage claim system, and ticket counters, among other things. The $10.5 million project is expected to be completed in October of next year.
Well, Cullen County's newest budget is official now. County commissioners have finalized the more than $52 million budget. They also set the millage rate at 8.5. County officials say that several things have been added since the budget was first proposed back in July. Those include 2 new 911 dispatchers, a new fire truck, and several construction projects. For more details, you can go to WCTV.tv.
Well, a veteran is biking thousands of miles in an effort to raise money for men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Randy Horton's journey started in California and is set to end in Jacksonville. His ride took him through Tallahassee yesterday. Horton is pedaling more than 3,000 miles for Wounded Warriors Project. He's already raised nearly $7,000.
But the real winners here, the real winners, are the men and women coming back from the military that are going to receive the funds that's going to help them start their new life.
Well, if you want to know more about Horton's ride, head to WCTV.tv and click on this story. We are continuing with our 60th anniversary tour here at WCTV.
Try and be sure to tune in for our evening shows. Today, Mike McCall and Eden Schultz will be live out in Bainbridge, Georgia. You're invited to come out to the Earl May Boat Basin and Cheney Griffin Park to join them. They'll be in the city from about 5 until 6:30.
And as you all may know, today marks the start of the fall season, but don't start grabbing those boots and scarves just yet. Rob is here to tell us more about when we can expect it to feel more like fall in our area. Yeah, not quite those scenes yet here.
No, but those are pretty scenes.
They are pretty. Can't wait for
up
that.
There right now. It looks like Vermont.
It does.
It's covered bridges. Beautiful.
It's quite possibly the best time of the year up there. Second half of September, first half of October. It's amazing up there. Around here, it's going to be okay. It's not like we're talking 95s like we had this past weekend. We're not talking big time rains or anything. But we're still stuck a little bit in one of those patterns where we get the combination skies, and I don't think a lot of showers. The radar picture is fairly quiet right now, a little bit of low-level moisture being picked up. I think for a lot of us, these next few days will keep the morning temperatures close to 70 and the afternoon temperatures closer to 85. It's something. We'll break it down next.
About 5:40 right now. This weekend, you have the chance to see something that's not been seen in more than 30 years.
According to NASA, a supermoon will combine with a lunar eclipse on September 27th. Scientists say the total lunar eclipse will mask the moon's larger-than-life face. Sunday's supermoon eclipse will last a little more than an hour, and people in the U.S. and in much of the world will be able to see it. So pretty cool. Something to look out for there.
Total lunar eclipse. Pretty cool. All right, Rob, what do you think?
I think that is very cool stuff. And usually, you know, we get past the full moon of September, and that's when we start looking for some slightly cooler temperatures, at least if you go based on that kind of thing. And you know what? That full moon's coming up soon, so hopefully we'll get to those cooler morning temperatures. Overnight tonight, still kind of warm and still kind of muggy. I know. We're tired of this, but come on, fall. It's going to be a little while before the fall-like weather actually gets here. The combination skies, they're going to stick around into the upcoming weekend. At this point, 85 is progress. We'll go optimistic here. Progress.
Yeah, but lows at 70?
Yeah.
Okay.
85's okay. Thanks, Rob.
All right, well, the time now, 5:45. Still to come on Daybreak. The Donald makes a trip to the Late Show. Find out what the presidential hopeful had to say.
And following public scrutiny, the CEO of a pharmaceutical company switching up his stance and making drugs more affordable. His national story is coming up after the break. Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump is ducking questions about the president's birth and religion. In an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on Tuesday night, Trump refused to discuss the last controversy ignited after he refused to condemn an anti-Muslim questioner at an event. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton finally declared Tuesday she is against the Keystone XL pipeline. A company that hiked the price of one particular drug is now backing off.
That's right. Turing Pharmaceuticals recently increased the price of the drug from $13.50 to $750 a pill. Its CEO, Martin Shkreli, actually quickly became the focus of public anger, but he is reportedly backing down. The 32-year-old CEO announced the company has agreed to lower the drug's price to make it more affordable. Dapirim is used by some AIDS and cancer patients. Its main use is to treat life-threatening parasitic infections. The number of salmonella infections linked to cucumbers continues to soar. The CDC is now reporting 558 cases. This figure is 140 more cases than last week. 3 people in Arizona, California, and Texas have died in the ongoing outbreak. Efforts to recall cucumbers tied to the outbreak are continuing.
Well, Coca-Cola says it has spent more than $100 million over the past 5 years for health research. The company has been criticized recently for the role of its sugary drinks in America's obesity and diabetes epidemic. Coke executives have vowed to promote healthy messages and programs through new ad campaigns.
Well, it's almost a mandatory part of birthday celebrations across the country and beyond the Happy Birthday to You song. Well, a federal judge ruled yesterday that Warner Chappell Music's claim to the 120-year-old song is not legal. Therefore, it frees it from copyright. The ruling comes after a lawsuit challenged the company's attempt to fine a group of filmmakers for the song's use. The song is based on the melody from Good Morning to All, which was written sometime before 1893. So the song belongs to all of us.
It does.
It is.
They're going to have to refund all that money I paid them for,
Did you pay
for being able to sing that song.
Every year, indeed. All right, we want to tell you about some digital housekeeping here at WCTV.
Many viewers signed up for our text alerts, and you might have noticed you got a text message from us. Here's what it looks like. The FCC is asking us to confirm you're signed up for the service. If you want our text alerts, simply reply saying News WCTV. If you don't reply, you might lose service next week. All this to make sure that our records are up to date. You can sign up for our text alerts by heading to our website, WCTV.tv.
All right, well, up next, Kermit and ex-girlfriend Miss Piggy are opening up about their split for the first time. Find out what they have to say after the break.
As we wrap up the show, we will tell you why rat pizza rules. It's popular on social media. Really. But first, let's check in with Rob for that forecast. Rob.
All right then. Plenty to get to with our weather forecast. You know, the next couple of days, we're going to be influenced of some low pressure off the Atlantic coast. And what that means for us is instead of bringing in a sweeping change, I think we end up keeping more of the same. Temperatures near 70 this morning. It's that time of the year we like to see those numbers start creeping back into the low 60s or even upper 50s. Not happening, not anytime soon. We're at 69 right now at Camilla. We're at 70 in Thomasville. It's 71 in St. Mark's and 76 in Tallahassee. We've got more of the warm and muggy to talk about. We'll break it down again in just a bit.
About 7 before the hour now, we're getting a look at a new study that details the number of Americans taking money from their retirement accounts.
And Amazon is celebrating 5 Emmy wins. Charlene Cristobal has today's Money Watch report. Charlene?
Well, hey, Shonda R. Good morning, everyone. We'll see if stocks can rebound today after a big sell-off. The Dow dropped nearly 180 points. The Nasdaq lost 72. 30 million Americans tapped into their retirement savings for an emergency this past year. Now, that's according to a Bankrate.com survey. The study showed millennials are least likely to take money from their retirement accounts. That report also found that 21 million Americans aren't saving for retirement at all. And Amazon is celebrating 5 Emmy wins for its original series, Transparent, with a pretty big deal. This Friday, for one day only, new members can join its Prime membership program for $67. The normal price is $99 a year. Let's look at your Money Watch report. Art, Shonda, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Charlene. Appreciate that. Well, hearts broke in August when Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy announced their breakup on social media.
That's right. Kermit told Jimmy Kimmel the couple just wanted different things. Mayor Melanie has a look in today's Hollywood Minute.
a lot of guts.
Yeah, this isn't awkward at all.
In the wake of a very public breakup, Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog made their first joint appearance on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live to address the news that devastated Muppet fans around the globe.
I'm kind of like the Donald Trump of love. Everything I do is huge. And therein lies some of the the problem.
Another star shining on Broadway, Dancing with the Stars winner Rumor Willis, daughter of Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, made her debut as the murdering mistress Roxy Hart in Chicago the Musical. Her famous family was there with a standing ovation and shout-outs on Instagram. And speaking of rumors, The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that Disney's filming a new live-action Mary Poppins movie, featuring all new music and a new story set 20 years after the original 1964 version. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
All right, so new Mary Poppins. You know, most aren't ever as good as the original.
I don't know how you're going to equal the original,
It's a
that's for sure.
classic,
'Cause it was
seriously.
pretty amazing.
All right, well, finally this morning on Daybreak, while New Yorkers hate rats, it's safe to say they love pizza.
So what happens when you combine the two? A social media sensation. Take a look here. This is video showing a rat struggling to drag an entire piece of pizza down subway stairs in New York City.
Oh my gosh.
The video has actually gone viral, prompted many shenanigans on social media with people using the hashtag #PizzaRat. There are even pictures of a fan dressed in a rat suit, as you saw there, eating a slice of pizza. Some social media users are even predicting Pizza Rat will be New York's hottest Halloween costume this year.
Wow, he's got quite a feast there. He's like, if I could just get this,
Where's he
to my
taking it
spot,
to?
his spot, wherever that is.
Away from
Where
the
the
other
crew
rats.
is.
That's where it's taking it. That piece has
He
got
doesn't
some,
want to share. Right?
pizza, that rat's got some ambition right
He
there.
does,
Showing some
indeed.
good ambition.
Wow.
Nothing better than a piece
gracious.
of pizza from New York City, by the way.
Yeah, unless one that's been gnawed
The
on
rat
by a
hat
rat.
first.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want that one.
Yeah.
There's a look at the view from up above. Kind of quiet and slow going this Wednesday morning. Of course, it's just a few minutes before 6. I don't see a lot of fog out there. I don't see a lot of rain out there. I do see more of the muggy and more of the combination skies. It's going to be another day like the last couple. And that's to say, not a bad one. Just, not a fall-like one.
Not yet.
Thanks, Ron. Coming up on the morning show, authorities in our area looking to stomp out a drug that's being used a lot more in the community. We'll have what you need to know about the drug.
Plus, a couple hundred new jobs have been created to upgrade the Tallahassee airport. Find out just where those upgrades are going.
All right, back with the Good Morning Show in just a few seconds.